Aboard here, a very quiet fellow. There's been no rubbishing at all directed towards the Italian champion. Such a calm fellow, 26-year-old McMillan, very relaxed at the weigh-in this morning and getting a great reception here. There's no doubt that the fans here in North London believe he is the genuine article. We've seen a lot of him on ITV, and he's done everything that has been expected of him. But now he's taking the ultimate step to try and become a world champion. And he's never been in with a fellow of the caliber of the champion. Colin McMillan takes things very seriously. He's moved away from his home, spent a bit of time in a bed and breakfast and a hotel as well, leading a Spartan life. And he is really up for this one and brandishing the WBO belt, one of the most accomplished 9-stone fighters in recent years. Maurizio Stecca, Olympic Featherweight champion at the age of 21 in Los Angeles. There's a little rumour that he went down from a body shot in training, but he has certainly done nothing inside the ring to suspect that he is on the way. A very skillful fighter. His 7th world title fight. Stecca doesn't speak English, but he's made it very clear he respects McMillan, but he's sure he can beat him. Maurizio Stecca, just one defeat in 7 years. Well, Jim Watt and Reg Guttridge will be waiting to talk to you. First of all, to our MC for tonight, Mike Goodall.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Alexandra Palace, welcome to the main event of the evening. The officials this evening appointed for this contest by the World Boxing Organization are the WBO supervisor in charge, Mr. Stecca from Miami, Florida. The British Boxing Board of Control, steward in charge, Mr. Nipper Reed. The judges this evening are Mr. Norbert Frost from Germany, Mr. Gordon Oldman from Chicago, Illinois, and Mr. John Rupert from Miami, Florida. The referee this evening is Mr. Sam Williams from Detroit, Michigan, and the timekeeper, Mr. Lou Hubbard from Norwich. Ladies and gentlemen, sponsored by the Sunday Sport and the Daily Sport, the newspapers that are best for boxing coverage, Frank Warren Productions proudly presents a contest of 12 3-minute rounds to decide the WBO Featherweight Championship of the world. Between, in the blue corner, the challenger, the featherweight champion of Great Britain and the Commonwealth, Colin McMillan. And in the red corner, wearing the white coat from Italy, the featherweight champion of the world, Maurizio Stecca. At the weigh-in at 11 o'clock today, Stecca scaled 8 stone, 12 pound, 40 ounces. McMillan, 8 stone, 13 and a quarter pound. The featherweight championship of the world.
So there it is then, the referee, Sam Williams. The last time he was here had a bit of problems. He handled the Lloyd Huntington and Johnny Bumpus fight. That fight fans may recall, he ran from the corner in that fight and the referee had to keep Huntington under control. So there you are then, pull up your comfortable ringside seat with us, we hope, because if form means anything, well, this should be pure boxing. Bit of a chess match, Jim Watson, I think. This could be for a while. It depends really Maurizio Stecca feels about this, whether he travels well. He's had 41 of his fights in Italy, 3 in America, and 1 previous in London at Dagenham, which was really only a rehearsal. So they know all about each other. Certainly, Colin McMillan's a student of boxing. He's watched endless videos of Stecca. Now let's see if we can tumble the game plan very early on. I've always been impressed with Stecca, but I can't remember an Italian world champion, in fact even a European champion, coming here on a voluntary defence. Because WBO #1 is Correa Vargas, he's #2 McMillan. But there you are, this game, money talks everything, and I don't know what Austin said, it's a game of booty. Stecca's always had this great speed with sport, Jim, and McMillan's got the speed of movement.
This is probably one of the best matches I think I've seen in a British boxing ring for quite some time. It's a long time since we've seen as much natural talent in a boxing ring. But so hopefully it'll live up to expectations. I'm not saying there'll be 12 rounds of fireworks, but we're going to see a lot of classy boxing and a lot of classy moves. McMillan, he thrives on opponents' mistakes. Well, Stecca doesn't make too many of those, so McMillan's going to have to change his own style a little bit and try to force this fellow into making some mistakes.
There's been a lot of play about Stecca not particularly liking punches to the body. Well, who does, of course, but the only loss that he had to Pedro Nolasco, he boxed in Milan. Now, not him, he didn't lose to him, although he boxed him also in the Olympics, which reminds me of the same fighter. But it was Luis Espinosa from Arizona. And when he lost that championship, he actually turned his back on the opposition, and there's all sorts of reasons why. He said he was having problems with the eye at the time. But, well, we'll find out whether McMillan really has got enough punching power, certainly to the body, as the fight goes on. He's actually stopped 3 opponents with body punches, actually, McMillan. 10 stoppages in 22 weeks. Well, the trade paper is suggesting that McMillan might be one of those nearly men, but you never know really, because his amateur record wasn't that good. He was always in finals but was unable to win them. But when you look at the opposition like Paul Hodgkinson and Floyd Hammond, who both went on to become professional champions, and of course Hodgkinson world champion, you can understand that. Maybe, as he claimed, that the ABA judges didn't quite like his style anyway. It's more suited to professional boxing. Well, the scouting report's going to be over, Jim, as we get the countdown for the end of the opening round.
Yeah, well, this is the kind of start that we anticipated. Stecca is probably the more stationary target of the two, but no real worthwhile punches landed in the first round, but a good scouting mission.
So referee collecting the scorecards of the 3 WBO appointed judges, World Boxing Organisation, as we take a look here at Colin McMillan, popular lad, of course, particularly in the London area. And we've liked the look of him in previous fights. Struggled a bit, we thought, with Percy Comey. That's Howard Rainey on these there, ex-boxer, mountaineer, quite a character himself. And he's self-managed, this fellow, and has a technical advisor, if you like, in Jonathan Rendell or Joe. So now he's had a good look at Stecca from close-up, looked at him on the screen long enough, and can he now fathom out what's going to go on? 12 rounds, remember, a championship. Just a reminder of those weights again. Stecca 8-12. There was talk about him having trouble making weight. Well, it's hard to believe that. He's coming underweight there, 2 pounds, and 8-13 and a quarter McMillan. He weighed 9 stone 3 in his last fight, McMillan and Dagenham, but they really were virtual workouts. And I say they because Stecca was on the same bill.
Well, if the first round is anything to go by, it looks as though McMillan wants to be the counter-puncher here. He's trying to trick the champion into committing himself with the lead. He's not too keen to lead himself. Swaying well from the body, just trying to draw the lead. Here they go, through a couple of leads, but Stecca, his experience didn't allow the counter punches to land. But McMillan, his temperament looks nice. Looks quite happy in there, not overawed. He's taking his time, but he's going to have to get to work, obviously.
Well, we predicted a kind of chess match, Jim, didn't we? That, you know, they're trying to outthink each other as well as outpunch. And they're obviously taking time to really get the grips a bit. I mean, it's never going to be a sort of throw punches from any angles type of fight, unless one of them gets cut, then you'll have to.
I said McMillan has that look at about Reg that he's just ready to pounce. You can see he's on the tips of his toes, just ready to pounce. When the lead comes, he's trying to draw the lead and nip back in with a counter. But as yet, Stecca hasn't committed himself, so we're still watching this chess match.
Incredible, really, Jim, for Stecca to have won the World Championship twice, and yet he's never competed for the Italian or the European Championship. Remarkable, that. They had quite a good reception in London, actually, Stecca.
A couple of times they've got close, Reg. Stecca looks a little bit too keen to grab hold of McMillan. I don't think that the fancy's working up close there too much. A little bit of blood coming from his nose already, I think. I think that should cheer McMillan up if that's the case.
Well, certainly the crowd are egging McMillan on. Any slight success now, even from the back of the arena here at Alexander Palace, they're giving him the cheers. So, hit me if you can see that McMillan saying to Stecca. He must be quite surprised at how slippery he is. He's got good defence, McMillan. Countdown to the end of the second. Well, just one over the pass. Oh dear. Well, that's surprising, Jim, for two scientific boys. And American referee Sam Williams just giving him the friendly pat there and saying, behave yourself.
Well, the good news is, Reg, that McMillan's annoyed the fellow. I mean, he's one of these cool professionals, but McMillan's managed to annoy him. Probably a little bit of a nosebleed in the couple of shots that he took. Okay, that's the first move in his favour, if you like.
Yeah, let's have a look at it then.
Not much in that round, Reg, but if you were looking to give it to somebody, you could probably lead McMillan's way. The few punches that were landed, I'd say, were McMillan's, but in a very close round, as I say, if you want to give it to somebody, you could give it to McMillan, but nothing in it.
Yeah, it looks as though Stecca was quite annoyed there. It's, how dare you hit me, I'm the world champion. He's been very cleverly promoted in his career, I have to say. Third round then.
Well, Stecca seems to be a little bit more fired up now, so he seems to be the one who's prepared to commit himself, and I would say that's exactly what McMillan's been waiting for.
Fighting family, Stecca. His brother Loris won the WBA Super Bantamweight Championship.
Well, if an opponent doesn't put McMillan under pressure, Reg, then he's very difficult to catch with punching, he's very difficult to beat. So Stecca, although he's not really a powerful kind of boxer, he's going to have to knock McMillan out of this rhythm. Oh, a bad clash of heads, Reg. Accidental. He came out from a clinch, but it was a smack.
Not fortunately, Jim, there's no blood showing there, is there?
No, cut in the mouth, I think.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He ducked his head a bit there, the Italian. I was wondering what was happening there.
Well, at the moment, McMillan's being allowed to box at his own pace, and that's all he asks of anybody. And he's doing it very well. Left jab beginning to look very accurate.
Now it's become the right judge. Chip has switched to southpaw again to further confuse the champion. See, there it is, just searching for that opening, saying, come on, lead to me there, McMillan saying to Stecca, so I can counter.
I'm surprised McMillan switching to southpaw. He had just found the range with a left jab, now he's turning to southpaw. I would have thought he'd have wanted to persevere. He was getting through with the jab. Not a lot of power, but he's drawn blood from the nose. And as I say, annoyed the champion, but now he shifted to southpaw.
There's quite a section of Italian followers actually in the crowd. In fact, the first press conference for Stecca in London was at the Bar Italia in Soho.
I think McMillan's a little bit quicker than Stecca had imagined, Greg. The jab, he's carrying it low and just holding it out in front of himself, and it's a short punch, and he's getting it home. Stecca trying to break his rhythm, trying to draw him into more of a physical fight. Not managed that yet.
World Boxing Organisation Featherweight Championship, that's the 9-stone division. And a good start really by McMillan, Jim. I thought he's at least keep this champion under control a bit. I mean, he's had his home way in most fights, Stecca, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Got enough to done with only one loss.
The Stecca hasn't really managed any effective work so far. McMillan, as I say, drawing a little bit of blood, and you can see once or twice he's knocked the champion's head back. The Stecca, very little success. McMillan has either slipped or blocked his punches. So Stecca is the one who's going to have to produce something better than this. He seems prepared to commit himself, but he's not that kind of fighter. He likes to do things the sensible way, make the opponent make the mistake. But McMillan, he's getting his own way. He's forcing the champion to make the mistake.
Well, very much a proving fight now for McMillan, despite obviously being the British and Commonwealth champion. The World Championship, the big thing he's always wanted, with a great temperament for the game. Good thinker, keeps in good shape all the time. Even as Jim Rosenthal said, moved away from home to train and did some sparring top class really with Duke McKenzie, who sadly lost his world title this week. And tonight, of course, there's been another British loser in America, Johnny Nelson, overwhelmingly outpointed by James Warren.
The left jab again, looking good for McMillan. He's found the range. And as I say, he's a little bit quicker, I think, than Stecca imagined.
He's getting a bit saucy, isn't he, McMillan? He's just picking those right-hand punches while he's on the move.
Well, I tell you, I don't expect Stecca is used to being caught with punches in the first 3 or 4 rounds of a fight. It's probably the last third of a fight that he has problems. But his problems straight from the first bell here. And he's not pinning McMillan down. Good start for McMillan.
We never make really unfair comparisons with McMillan and Ray Leonard, but you can see by his style McMillan how he's actually often watched Sugar Ray in action there and copied him. Jim, if we get the countdown for the end of this round.
Still a good start for McMillan, Reg.
Oh yes, that's certainly it. But remember, he did get cut against Tommy, and let's hope it doesn't happen here. He's very quiet, this heavyweight referee, Sam Williams. He just makes himself known by tapping them, and have another look at that now, Jim.
Well, McMillan's jab, again, working well. Not working very often, Reg, but once or twice knocking the champion's head back, and he's not really taking much. Stecca's trying to break his rhythm, trying to get a little bit closer. But I think Stecca's having to do things the way he doesn't really like doing them. but it's the only way he's going to get this young fella under control. Look at lovely right-hand punch. The flashy stuff now coming from McMillan, supremely confident, and the longer it goes, the more confident he seems to be becoming, just jogging around the ring, flicking out the punches.
So a little bit of corner talk there, and well, he's looking over at the referee, how would rain you down. I'm not sure what that was all about. He's just checking Sam Williams, everything's okay. I don't know why he went over. Fifth round. More or less how everybody predicted this, Jim, this contest, the way it was going to go like this, wasn't it? You know, the catches, can stuff.
Yeah, but I think the good news for McMillan, Stecca is trying everything he knows to pin him down, yet you get the feeling that McMillan is just boxing well within himself, that he can produce more. He's just doing enough to nick himself in front, and there's better work to come. But Stecca, as I say, he's trying everything, and he just can't come to grips with him. So everything looking good for McMillan here. No reason to get involved. Things are working as he's doing. So just keep this going, just nick the point, and the last half of the fight, we can make for some heroics possible.
Well, maybe a touch of frustration already coming now with Stecca. Remember, he's beaten 5 Britons, and actually never seen one even remotely like this. McMillan, of course, Rocky Lawler, Nigel Haddock, John Feeney, John Maloney, and Tim Driscoll.
McMillan's reflexes are so sharp, Reg. I think Stecca will be becoming a little bit frustrated. He's having to march forward, commit himself. He knows he's lost a couple of rounds, and he's trying to make them back, and it's not easy.
Oh, that little kidney punches there was not appreciated by the crowd at all, but certainly McMillan didn't pay any attention. McMillan Camp was saying before the contest that this is the best they've seen him in the gymnasium. He's really hyped himself up to this, fired himself up to this fight. Hasn't overworked the body punches yet, and he may well get into that as the fight goes along.
That's the strange thing, Reg. Neither have been prepared to work up close. They just hold on, wait for the referee to split them up. Not really much work going on up close. Stecca having now to commit himself, trying to force the pace a little bit. Well, Stecca's getting a lot closer to McMillan now than he was earlier, Reg, but still not really doing anything effective.
McMillan was well, telling me that he really would go for the body when it suited him. There's not axiom in boxing. If you work to the body, the head will fall. And the better one really was still some fighters said, mate, but why I go for the body is because it don't have eyes. The 12 championship fight. Although maybe championship contest, I think, more than fighting in this case. Well, as Jim Watt has been saying, it's been going McMillan's way, and I think probably in the second half of the fight, he'll probably start working at the body a bit more. He's quite pleased the way the playing's been going. Remember, McMillan's never been knocked down, and he's actually scored 11 knockdowns himself. It isn't too bad for a fellow, as I say, can't punch them, but... And his only loss was actually a cover to Alan McKay, who was beaten as an amateur anyway.
You still get the feeling that everything that McMillan does is well within himself. He still has more to produce, and he's beginning to produce a little bit now. Stecca still having to try to force things, and he doesn't seem quite at home for these tactics. He likes the other fellow to do the leading, and he does the counter-punching. That's not what's happening here. McMillan always that little bit sharper than here.
As this American referee did was not call him break. It's now the physical use. Of course, he's still a big man who can do it, but They're more or less waiting for him to come in and part them rather than do it on command, which British referees like to do.
Yeah, neither are very keen to work inside. They're holding with the one hand and taking away with the other. They're not really throwing good body shots inside. Once they get there, they're just waiting for the command to break.
Yeah, that's a good straight jab there.
McMillan's left jab has been the difference between the two boxers all the way through there. Sharp and accurate.
And again, the stance switch there. I've always thought it often confuses the boxer that does the switching, but it doesn't appear to be so. Certainly doesn't enjoys doing it to confuse the other guy. His style, you know, Jim, it's almost like a pickpocket. He picks the punches without the other fellow knowing he's doing it.
Yeah, well, he's just picking holes in Stecca right at the moment, Reg, and the surprising thing about Stecca, he hasn't tried anything different. He's doing exactly the same things now that weren't working in the first and second round. He hasn't changed anything, hasn't walked across, hasn't tried to put him under any greater pressure, just single jabs as he marches forward. Nothing really clever. And McMillan quite enjoying himself.
Sort of an Olay Bull and Matador job here with McMillan from the crowd. Signaling those punches in. So once again, referee collecting the cards and then handing them, I should say, to the Miami supervisor. So that if it does go 12 rounds, hopefully they can get the point. Near enough. Ice bucket, and just push it on me, push the bruises down a little bit. Elio Guilty as the manager of Stecca. And there it is in a real slow motion job there, and you can't visualise the speed when you watch it. McMillan in action, Jim. There's that lovely left jab.
Yeah, he took one in the sun, but that hasn't happened too often. Perfect left jab punch.
Well, he's accurate in the spittoon. He's a bit more accurate with that than he is the punching at the moment, Stecca. 7th round then, coming up. Doesn't suit him at all to rough up, does it? Sweet speed, Jim. It goes against his style all the time, really, but a little bit of need of creeps in every so often. Confidence.
I think the problem is Stecca becoming a little bit frustrated. He's been asked to do things he doesn't like doing. He's not really what you would call an aggressive Mark Scholar type of fighter. But he has to produce something. Nothing that he's tried already has worked. He's never managed to pin McMillan down. McMillan catching him as he comes in, catching him a nice straight jab. There goes another one. And Stecca hasn't really had a good round yet.
Steady on, Jim. You never know with these WBO judges. We've seen it in the past, but I mean, they will be watching a different fight if they've got Stecca anywhere near in front.
Yeah, I can't see how. I mean, if McMillan carries on as he is now, I mean, he hasn't really made a mistake. The pace has put him all the way through. Stecca has never managed to knock him out of his rhythm, hasn't managed to put him under any pressure. And his own left jab is just as I'm speaking again, very accurate.
It's complete boxing now by McMillan. He really knows they have. I do this for the rest of this contest, the World Championship fine, and I'm not going to let this go to spoil that.
And McMillan just seems that little bit sharper, Reg, in every department.
Under a minute to go in the 7th then. And it's a non-scoring referee, by the way. judges from Chicago, Miami, and Germany.
Surprisingly untidy up close, Reg. Neither really showing a great body technique when they're up close. A bit of wrestling, holding on, waiting for the call to break.
Yeah, the other British world champion, Jim, I say the other, he hasn't won it yet, McMillan, but Paul Hodgkinson, he's a good close-in fighter, isn't he?
Yeah, that would be a cracking match, actually, if all goes well here, but maybe one of these matches that we never see, you wonder.
Well, I hope that politics will prevent that. I mean, just getting a unification of two championships in itself in the British ring will be worth doing. A little bit of blood now. It's just a little speck. I don't think Howard Rainey will bother with that, and even the Sponson's round ladies have a little glance there as she went past. The two Italian supporters behind me getting a bit concerned now with the future of Stecca as he's going on here, Jim, in this replay.
Well, Stecca forcing himself forward there, as I say, it's not his game. There's full credit to him. He's trying to get the job done. But he's made so many mistakes, and that's all down to the tactics McMillan has adopted. Lovely boxing from McMillan.
Round 8. Try to cover every aspect of this contest, actually, McMillan, Jimmy, at the weigh-in. He even went off to the rules meeting, and usually that's the trainers and managers go to that, and officials. But he went and tried the gloves on and the whole thing. He didn't want to make any mistake at all in the build-up.
When you have to admire the way McMillan treats a World Championship contest the same way as he does a British or a Commonwealth title, no difference. He just gets about the job, doesn't get overexcited, just a real good little pro, isn't he?
There's no use trying to say that Stecca's on the slide here because he doesn't stop winning. But as I said at the start of the fight, I'm wondering if he travels well, whether he really likes being away from home. I mean, fantastic support in Italy, isn't it?
Well, it's always a surprise when an Italian world champion comes out of Italy to defend. That in itself surprised everybody, but we've been told that he's fallen out with the Italian promoter, so it's not as though he thought it was the end of the line. Far from it. And when we saw him boxing over here about 6 or 7 weeks ago, he really looked the part, looked like a world champion. So I think this is all down to the fact that McMillan just won't let him settle, won't give him a going away in any department.
Yeah, that and the promoter Frank Warren have to dig fairly deep in the pockets to pay him too, Jim. I can imagine his payday is very good. There's no official, they're keeping that a bit quiet, but it must be one big payday to get Stecca out of Italy. With a voluntary defence,
McMillan starting to drop the right hand home. That's the third good right hand punch he's landed in this round. As I said, you always feel McMillan has more to show. He hasn't really shown his hand yet.
Minute to go in the 8th.
Some blood just coming from Stecca's nose, the outside of the nose, I mean this time, just below the eye. I don't know if it's a cut in the eye or just a little scrape over the nose.
Yeah, he tripped over a left hook as well there, as you were saying that. That's getting a little bit rougher now, bumping and boring going on.
And maybe it was just some blood from the actual nose edge.
Yeah, it is, I think. Yeah. It's on the bridge of the nose, isn't the cut? Very minor, actually, in boxing terms. So the countdown then for the 8th round. 9th round of this World Championship at Featherweight. And Britain's Colin McMillan, well, undoubtedly now well ahead on top.
Well, McMillan has done everything at his own pace. He's never really been put under any pressure, so he's going to have plenty of steam left. Without any chance he's going to run out of steam in the last third of the fight. So Stecca, as far as I'm concerned, got a big job in front of him.
Well, to trot out the old line, Jim, it's never over until the final bell, so in this game you never really can tell.
McMillan getting a little bit flash now, just dropping the hands, and so he obviously feels everything is under control.
This is a round that the promoter quite well and thought it could end him. He said, I think McMillan can stop him by about the 9th round. And, well, always easy to outside the ring to make statements like that for anybody.
Well, that's all McMillan needs now, Reg, for a perfect performance to just produce a few fireworks here, a few real exciting rounds, whether he forces a stoppage or not. But look at the way he's just popping here. Perfect boxing from McMillan.
He hasn't overused that right-hand punch to the ribs that I've seen in other contests. Jim has been very sparing with that. Oh, there it is again. But I thought he might go for the body a bit more, but he hasn't bothered. He's doing, as you say, all he needs to do on top, as they say.
The first few signs of Stecca becoming a little bit disheartened, Reg. I mean, it's difficult when you're losing the rounds and you don't have the power to finish the other fellow. You wonder maybe just becoming a little bit frustrated, a little bit disheartened.
Oh, he's doing a bit of a number on Stecca now.
As I say, Reg, this is all it needs for a perfect performance, just a few fireworks to give the crowd something to scream about.
The referee's not saying a word, he's just using his friends to get them apart.
Well, having said that, I mean, they haven't failed to obey his command. So it's an easy fight to handle. A couple of shows a bad temper from Stecca in the early rounds, but that's all settled down. McMillan's throwing the fancy stuff now.
Yeah, there's none of that sneaking the punch after the bell there anyway. Oh, what is that? Now that's a little bit of tough to Sugar Ray coming out there, isn't it? He's enjoying this, McMillan. He knows he's got it in the bag, but you know, you never can tell in this thing. But I very much doubt now whether Stecca could pull out that final punch, the payoff punch that matters. And there he is, a close-up of the world champion, who probably can see that crown now slipping away, certainly by the reaction in the corner. And there is another close-up, Jim.
The real clean shots have always come from McMillan. And you've never seen McMillan's head been knocked back the way Stecca's has been knocked back then. And several times we've seen the champion's head knocked back on his shoulder.
And there's Bannister trying to guilty. He's really been laying into Stecca in this last couple of rounds, between rounds. Remember, there's a great drop in earnings when a boxer loses the world championship. Round 10. I think we're going to get some showboating in the final rounds now from McMillan now, Jim. Don't you? He enjoys that. He likes to put on a show as well. Well, a bit of entertainment.
I mean, you were talking about a very talented world champion in here tonight, not some old has-been. And McMillan really has never let him get his show on the road at all. Stecca surprisingly hasn't moved his head much from side to side. He's been marching straight forward all the way through. See, I think he's used to the other fellow doing the marching forward, and he uses his feet to get himself out of trouble. So often he's walked straight on to McMillan's jab. See, he doesn't move his head at all from side to side.
No, it's quite rigid there, isn't it?
McMillan McMillan's timing is really spot on perfect. The jab has worked so well.
McMillan must absorb a good punch, given that he's now only 24 fight and still hasn't been on the deck. There must have been some decent punches somewhere along the line, but he's always seemed to be moving away from them, doesn't he, the real punches. He'll take the left jab in the face occasionally, but that's all.
Yeah, it's not too often you see him take a full-blooded shot in the chin. The perfect reflexes, he just seems to pull away at the last split second. He just wants to keep working there. He doesn't want to start posing now. And he obviously feels that the way he reacted to the crowd at the end of the previous round, that he's well in control, well in front. So he doesn't want to start posing. Just keep working as he's doing. Good stuff now. Back to southpaw.
I think he demoralised Stecca a long time ago. The chance of Colin now coming from this arena. They know it, he knows it, and I suspect Stecca does as well. How this one is going. Very impressed with Stecca when he won the Olympic Featherweight title, and almost stopped the Americans again on a clean sweep in Los Angeles. So it shows the quality of the boxer of Stecca, but he hasn't been able to do that at all tonight. And now even a little bit of swelling obviously above the left eye there. And the overhead camera in replay, Jim.
And yet again, Stecca getting close but not really being very effective. A punch landed in, the bodies collided, and Stecca almost went over. The crowd screamed as though it was a knockdown, but it wasn't really. It was just a clash of bodies, and Stecca almost went over.
Well, now, I hope they're not saying to McMillan, let's have some caution now, it's all yours. I hope he puts on the final show to give the real touch of a new world champion. And I think that's a picture that tells the despondency of the trainer in the ring there. And I love the fellow on the outside. I suspect that could be a doctor wearing those green plastic gloves there. I've never seen it before. I suspect it's Stecca's personal doctor. 11th round then. So 6 minutes to go.
Well, McMillan must be ready now for a charge from Stecca. I mean, if Stecca's going to do anything, he's going to do it in this round. He can't possibly leave it to the last. So if he thinks there's a possibility of knocking McMillan over, now is when he's going to try and do it. You see, he has a lot of grease on his left eye, Stecca, so obviously he just wiped it away from there. I wonder if there was some swelling then.
Yeah, he was working on it in the corner, Jim, although we were quite close to the corner. We didn't really spot it bleeding.
I think it's just a bit of swelling there. You don't see any blood.
No.
But this is where Stecca is going to make a charge if he has a charge left in him. So McMillan has to be careful to prepare to meet him head on.
Got cat-like reactions actually, McMillan, isn't he?
He's always been that little bit sharper than Stecca. Tremendous show of concentration from McMillan all the way through, so sharp.
He nearly dropped that one right on the point of the chin, actually, just on the side. Oh, now, I tell you, we get the whole repertoire now, the uppercuts are coming in now. And nothing that Stecca seems to be able to do about it.
Not a thing, and Stecca's having to really commit himself now to turn the tide. And this is where McMillan can really enjoy himself and put some power into the punches. Now meet him as he comes in. And he's finding the target without a great deal of trouble. So now's the time just to put an extra bit of snap into the punches.
Change of stance again. He showed him the punch and still landed it there, Jim. That's a bit salty at a World Championship fight.
Yeah, put a little bit of flash now. He stepped right in with that punch. Stecca couldn't move back far enough, still took the shot.
Countdown for the end of the 11th, one to go. And in case you joined us late, there's been no knockdowns in this World Championship fight. Britain's Colin McMillan, well, getting almost into a runaway situation there now. And you can see blooded around the nose, and I think trainer-manager Gelfi there has well, given it up now, so well, you've got to hang in there till the last round. You never know, but I doubt it. Ice packs and a little, almost like the doll's house iron there, isn't it, trying to get that swelling down. Oh dear, it's a hard game. And a bit more replay.
Yeah, well, McMillan beginning to enjoy himself. He's never been under any pressure whatsoever, always worked at his own pace, so he could probably do another half a dozen rounds, Reg, without any trouble, not even out of breath.
So is it now 3 minutes to the World Championship for Colin McMillan, and there's the crowd rising to him. That's the formality of touching gloves there, isn't it, in the last round? It's a bit like the pleasantries of the dentist before the extraction.
Stecca's looked nothing like the classy world champion there, has he? I mean, McMillan has really kept him under control all the way through. I'm just thinking, I hope we don't hear the dreaded words at the end of this one, a majority decision. Ladies and gentlemen, as we've heard in the past, but no way can I see any of the officials going for Stecca here.
Oh no, absolutely not. It would be outrageous, and I'll tell you what,
Well, we've seen some
I should be ducking under the ring a bit lively if that happens. I think there might be some sort of onslaught.
Well, surprisingly, Stecca a little bit untidy with his head then. I'd say Stecca has left it to the last round for the big drive. I feel he should have tried in the 11th. He was trying to raise the pace, but it's only a knockout can save his title as far as I'm concerned, and there's very little chance of that, I would think.
Yeah, it looks as though Stecca knows it too, Jim. That's the best little flurries that he's had in the whole fight. Look at this.
Still walking onto the punches. McMillan still nice and cool, calm. Lovely.
Oh yes, McMillan's
had the question McMillan could force a stoppage here, Reg. These punches are going home.
Absolutely, McMillan sort of saying, Jim, okay, I'll let you have a little flurry now, you're going to get mine, we're going to finish this off like a world beater. I'm glad they restrained from that one, because those punches would definitely have hit the kidney area. 60 seconds. Oh, they've dropped that right. It's become almost as one-sided as a tidal wave now, Jim, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I just wonder why McMillan didn't start this earlier on. Who knows, he could have forced a stoppage. He's been getting his punches home all the way through. But just quite happy to carry on as he's doing from the titling point.
In a good champion, Maurizio Stecca too, and he's got to the point really of humiliation, didn't it? So there it is then, too late for a knockout anyway. Well, I think that's a little bit ambitious with Stecca, unless he's saying to himself, I went to carry my shield out, at least I went 12 rounds. or is he thinking he might have won the decision, Jim? Now, are we going to get the sweaty palm situation? And I hope they've got the right guy. So I would think there's no chance of it being anything else after this.
Well, Stecca raised his hand at the end, maybe read just for a split second and thought he was back in Italy. I can't see any way he's going to get a verdict here, out of the question.
I can tell you what, Jim, the judge on my left here just had a little peek over his shoulder. Very naughty, but he's made McMillan the winner, so we're 1/3 of the way home anyway. Very good performance indeed by McMillan. I dare say people will be saying, well, he wasn't all that the Italian champion. Well, I'm sorry, he was. One defeat in 45 fights is as good as you can get in the fight game, and to win the World Championship twice. And the gentleman in the green gloves there might be giving some sympathetic chat at the moment. That's about all he can give him. So heavyweight trainer Howard Rainey from Sheffield. Well, it didn't take much to put him there posing for the, I nearly said the Fleet Street cameraman, but now the national newspaper boys. What a feeling that is, Jim. Well, you've gone through that, of course, winning a world championship. That must be such elation you can hardly, explain it really.
Nice to do it, Reg, walking out the ring looking exactly as you did as you walked in. Not even a bump on his cheek, hardly any. I mean, you wouldn't know he'd been in a 12-rounder. Did everything at his own pace, did a perfect job, beautiful boxing all the way through. Did exactly as he wanted against a good champion.
Well, as always a drawn-out problem here with the announcement of the judge's verdict. It really is. It gets a bit ridiculous. I understand why supervisors want to take their time, and the American supervisor, Mark Schechner from Miami, talking there now to the MC, Mike Goodall, and the British Boxing Board chairman, Nicola Reid, also in the ring there, is looking at the scores as well as they're passed over to the American supervisor.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a majority...
Oh, I don't believe this. A majority decision, Jim. Unreal.
Judge John Rupert scores 118 to 110.
Well, that's a big one. Well, that's about right. 118 to 110. 10 points each round.
Scores 116, 114 to Stecca.
The German judge has given 2 rounds to Stecca, and he agrees with it. Oh dear.
Kaufman scores 118.
McMillan's got it.
110.
Yes, McMillan's got it. 118-10, 2 of the judges. And the promoter, Frank Warren, actually objected to the German judge when he came in today, and he said that on the radio broadcast at lunchtime, that he was worried about the German judge. Well, after that, he may well have reason to worry. So that's Britain's got another world champion at the featherweight limit, with Paul Hodgkinson of Liverpool also holding the championship. This is the WBO version, and the jubilation understandably in McMillan's corner. But Jim, quickly, what do you think of that pointing?
Well, not good for boxing, Reg. How can one official give it to one boxer about 8 rounds and the other fella sees it the other way? Bad for boxing, but wonderful for Colin McMillan. Congratulations, a perfect performance.
So here's Gary Newbon with promoter Frank Warren.
Well, first of all, why was it a majority and not a unanimous one? The German gave it to Stecca.
No more than I expected. With the guy who used at the weigh-in today, that's the fellow we had trouble with. I don't think he should be allowed to judge fights anymore.
Perfect performance by McMillan there. Wonderful performance.
I thought he won it by at least 9 rounds. You know, the name of the game is to hit and not be hit, and that's what was happening there.
Well, you've got an exciting new champion on your hands now as promoter. What are the plans now?
The plans now are obviously looking for a defence sometime in July. The man I'd like him to fight, which would make a great British fight, 2 titles at stake, is Paul Hodgkinson.
Will that happen?
His manager, Barney Eastwood, you should remember he's his manager.
Okay.
We will pay good money for Paul Hodgkinson to fight.
Okay, it was a tremendous performance.
Oh, brilliant. And a real fight, for a change, the fans got a real fight.